You think you've seen cold? Like, my hands are freezing cold? Nah. We're going somewhere today that makes your winter look like a mild inconvenience. There's a place on this planet where your breath turns to ice instantly, where cars are kept running all day long because if you turn them off, they might never come back to life, and where kids casually walk to school at -40 like it's just another Tuesday. And here's the wild part. People don't just survive there. They build lives, families, traditions, entire communities, all in temperatures that would make most of us cry after 10 seconds. We're heading straight into Yakutia, the coldest place on Earth where humans actually live. And trust me, the way these people eat, work, travel, and stay alive, you've never seen anything like it. Let me show you how life really works when the world outside your door is colder than your freezer. So, before we dive into frozen eyelashes and cars that literally turn into ice sculptures, let's quickly set the stage. Because unless you've already Googled it, Yakutia sounds like one of those places from a fantasy novel. Mysterious, remote, kind of unreal. Yakutia, officially called the Sakha Republic, sits in the northeastern corner of Russia, basically where every weather map just shows a giant blue blob of good luck surviving. It's a region that stretches over an area the size of India, yet barely 1 million people call it home. And in the middle of this frost kingdom lies Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth, where winter temperatures drop to -50 degrees Celsius, sometimes even below -70 degrees Celsius. Just to put that into perspective, at -70 degrees Celsius, steel becomes brittle. Exposed skin can freeze in under a minute, and if you toss boiling water in the air, it turns into snow before hitting the ground. And yes, people live here. Now, when we talk about the cold in Yakutia, we're not talking about wear 2 jackets cold. This is cold that actively tries to kill you. Your eyelashes freeze within 30 seconds. Breathing feels like inhaling sharp needles. Phones shut down instantly because batteries can't function. Cars? If you turn them off, they might not start again for days. That's why entire parking lots hum like busy beehives with engines running non-stop. Here's something wild. At -55 degrees Celsius, frostbite can begin after just a few minutes. Doctors explain that the body immediately shuts down blood flow to your fingers, ears, and nose to protect your vital organs. And that's when things get dangerous. Even the ground itself is permanently frozen. The soil under Yakutia isn't really soil. It's permafrost, a giant block of ice that never melts. This place doesn't just test clothing, it tests biology. Despite the weather, people wake up, stretch, and start their day like anyone else. Except, everything they do is basically a mini survival mission. Getting dressed, you don't put on a jacket. You assemble layers like you're gearing up for battle. Thermals, sweater, goose-down coat, fur outer layer, boots that look like they belong to a mammoth hunter, scarf, fur hat, second scarf, gloves inside gloves. Kids walk to school, wrapped like tiny fabric burritos. And get this, school doesn't close until it hits -55 degrees Celsius. Imagine calling your teacher like, "Sorry, it's only -47 degrees Celsius. Guess I'll see you in class." Walking outside feels like stepping onto another planet. The air has a sound, a kind of crackly silence. You see your breath freeze mid-air. Every building has that frosty glaze like someone sprayed it with fake snow. Except it's very real. But to locals, this is normal. They have a saying, "There is no bad weather, only bad clothing." Cars in Yakutia have one rule: never turn the engine off. Ever. People leave their cars running while they shop, while they work, even overnight. Because once the engine cools, the fuel thickens into a gel, and the battery basically taps out. Most cars are kept in heated garages or fitted with giant insulation blankets. Some have little portable stoves underneath them to keep the engine warm. Yes, a car blanket is a real thing here. But the coolest part? In winter, rivers turn into roads, solid frozen highways. You'll see massive trucks driving across what would be deadly water routes any other time of year. It's honestly one of the most surreal things about Yakutia. Nature literally provides it with seasonal infrastructure. Food in extreme cold isn't just about taste, it's about survival. Your body burns way more calories staying warm, so the diet here is heavy in meats, fish, and fats. One of the most iconic dishes is straganina, raw fish frozen solid and sliced thin like sashimi. It's served ice cold, dipped in salt and pepper. There's also reindeer meat, horse meat, dumplings frozen outdoors, and warm broths that basically feel like hugging your organs from the inside. And here's a fun fact: no one needs a freezer. The outdoors is the freezer. People store food in wooden boxes outside their homes because the temperature never rises enough to spoil anything. Building a house on permafrost is tricky. If you heat the ground too much, it melts, shifts, and your house sinks. So homes in Yakutia are built on stilts, raised above the ice to prevent heat from affecting the ground. Underneath, you'll see open space instead of foundations. Inside, though, warm, cozy, lots of wood, carpets, and thick curtains to trap heat. Every home has powerful heating systems, and many use old Soviet-era boilers that run non-stop through the winter. In Yakutia, warmth isn't comfort, it's survival tech. You might think, why would anyone live in a place like this? Well, Yakutia is rich, really rich. It sits on vast reserves of diamonds, gold, oil, gas, and rare minerals. Almost 1/3 of the world's diamonds come from here. Entire towns operate around mining industries. Fishing and animal herding also play huge roles in daily life, especially in rural areas. And surprisingly, extreme cold tourism is booming. People travel from all over the world to experience the legendary winter of Yakutia. So, while the cold is brutal, the land is incredibly valuable. Despite the freezing temperatures, Yakut culture is warm, colorful, and community-focused. People speak the Yakut language, celebrate ancient traditions, and hold massive festivals when the summer sun returns. The Ishyak Festival, which celebrates the new year, is like a giant explosion of music, dancing, and traditional clothing. Yakut people are known for being unbelievably hospitable. You walk into a home, and before you can remove your gloves, someone's already handing you hot tea and food. Life is hard, yes, but community is strong, and that's what keeps people grounded, even on frozen ground. Winters here aren't just cold, they're dark. In December, daylight might last only a couple of hours. That impacts the human brain in major ways. Doctors say low sunlight reduces serotonin, throws off your circadian rhythm, and can lead to seasonal depression. That's why vitamin D supplements, bright indoor lamps, and warm social gatherings are staples of Yakut life. But locals are mentally tough. Generations have grown up adapting to these cycles and developing their own rhythm of life. When you ask Yakut people why they remain in the coldest inhabited place on Earth, their answers are beautifully simple. This is home. This is where our ancestors lived. We know this land. The cold doesn't scare us. And honestly, after seeing how they live, you start to understand. Yes, the environment is harsh, but the lifestyle, it's full of culture, tradition, community, and a deep connection to nature. Yakutia teaches us something powerful. Humans can thrive anywhere, even in the harshest conditions on the planet. When we adapt, work together, and learn from our environment,